In today's video, I'm going to share more updates and about resources and information about donations and things like that for the storm victims from Hurricane Helene. Thank you so much to everyone who has sent me stuff. Please continue to do that. And I would also say in the comments on this video, please share any information that you have about donations, where people can donate, about needs, any kind of information like that. Please, it would be very helpful. Do that. I have several of these videos. I can link to them. I'll put them in the description below in case you wanted to go back and see anything in those that maybe if you're actually, it's information actually for the victims, but also for people who just want to help. So it kind of covers both of those. And like I said, please do add any additional information that you have. Please continue to pray. Please pray. Pray for the people who are suffering. Pray for all those who are given aid. Please continue to do that. The very first one that I have is I will link to just this YouTube channel. I think it's very interesting. The Geo Models is the name of the YouTube channel. He's just going over, he's done several videos and kind of just showing how the terrain, and then with that massive amounts of rain, how it, how this happened, how all that damage happened. It's really interesting to see. So I will link to his YouTube channel. You can go, and if you want to see kind of some really in-depth information about how the storms come, how the rain, how it all worked together with the high mountains and the creeks, how those creeks turned into rivers, and little branches turned into roaring creeks that had never been before. So it's very interesting if you want to check that out. A lot of people have sent me links to GoFundMes, and you've probably seen them maybe on Facebook or various places. I'm going to share I think there's only two, maybe two that I've been sent by people that I know, so I will share them. You can go to that page. I'll put all these links that I'm going to share in the description below. You can go to that page, and then you can learn more about the GoFundMe and see if it's something that you want to, if you feel led to donate to or not. So this one was a GoFundMe for even a small donation would help Tara Webb reach their fundraising goal. And if you can't make a donation, it would be great if you could share the fundraiser to just spread the word. Let's see if I can just read a little bit about it. I currently live in Greensboro, North Carolina, and I'm part of a team helping to raise funds for my parents who live in Asheville, North Carolina. My stepfather is John McKay, a contemporary realist painter. You can go on and read about all of it, but that's just a little bit about that one so that you could, if you're interested in doing that, just take a look at it. Another one where someone sent me where they're taking up donations and actually going and into the areas and helping people, and I'm not familiar with this, but again, I'll put the link, is Jack's Stables. Jack's Stable, Jack's, J-A-K-S, Jack's Stables, unless that's Jake's, depending on how they say it, but I think I'm saying Jack's, I may be wrong. jakesstables.com. I'll put that link in the description below too. This was some information, my friend who sent me so much of this and continues to send me great stuff. This is Emergency Prescription Assistance Program. The Emergency Prescription Assistance Program helps people living in a disaster area who do not have health insurance get the prescription drugs and medical equipment that they need to stay healthy. People who are eligible for it can file a claim at more than 62,000 retail pharmacies across the United States in it and its territories for prescription items that were lost, stolen, or destroyed because of a disaster. So much of that happened here. And then there's some links that are EPAP-enrolled pharmacies where you could go and fill out that paperwork. And then I will leave that link in the description below. And then also, if you have questions about using it during a disaster, there's a hotline, and it's 1-855-793-7470, and I'm sure they would be able to help you find a pharmacy. In several of the recent videos I've talked about something I never even realized, I never even thought about. You think about the people losing their houses and their livelihood and everything. And I really hadn't thought about the documents, if it's the title to your car, your insurance papers, those kind of things. So this is two different links. One for Tennessee, replace documents in Tennessee of those things that you've lost if you were affected by the storm, and then also one for North Carolina. So I will leave both of those in the description below. This was another one. You think about the area of North Carolina that was hit, certainly not so much around Asheville, but a little bit of Asheville, but then especially farther north, so many Christmas tree farms, and that's just a huge income for those people. That's their livelihood. So this is how to support Christmas tree farmers. Be sure to buy a real Christmas tree, preferably in North Carolina Fraser fir, this says, but any real tree helps support what we dedicate our lives to do. So you think about those people that's their livelihood, and that's a good way to support them. There's also a link for that, so I will leave that in the description. It just gives more information. This is about some of the needs. They've changed as the time has went by. The things in the beginning they needed, and I'm sure certain places certainly still need that, thinking about water and food, but it's also kind of changed. So the last update I did and this one, I would say make sure wherever you're going to donate items, kind of see what they're looking for, because the needs may have changed again, even if you see this later after after it's published on my channel, maybe 3 or 4 days later, just ask if there's a place where you're going to donate to. Ask if there's a current list that you could see. But this was as of October 17th. All impacted areas still need Mr. Heater, My Buddy, coming into pods, but accessories needed to make them work. So they're getting the heaters, but they need the accessories. And so I'm going to share some Amazon links. I'll put them in the description below, that are needed to make the Mr. Heater, I wanted to say Heater and Buddy, Heaty and Buddy together, Mr. Heater and My Buddy heaters work. These are really needed. Propane bottles, the refillable kind. Fuel filters to be used with hoses for 20-pound propane tank connection. Very important to prevent damage to the heater. Adapter hoses to connect 20-pound propane tanks to heaters without filters and with filters. And then, let's see, there's an email I'm going to read. Let's see if I can go over some of the stuff in this email. This was from October 16th. Updates for North Carolina. Swannanoa, Black Mountain, is in Buncombe County. They're suggesting that if your well has been flooded, so many people in the mountains of North Carolina have well water if you don't live in the city like of Asheville or Waynesville or Burnsville or wherever it's at. So they recommend that you have your well tested if you had flooding. If you didn't have flooding, it says, that's okay. You don't need to. But just the ones, it says, that were flooded be tested. And then you can pick up a well testing kit. This was at a certain place. Let's see, I think they were handing them out in different places here. So from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and return it by 3 p.m. on 10/17. So by the time you see this, that date will have passed. But these places might still have them, so I'm going to read them anyway. In Burnsville, it was Rose's parking lot. Hot Springs Elementary School in Hot Springs. Fairview, it was at the Food Line parking lot. Barnardsville was the fire station. That was in Barnardsville, of course. Hendersonville, Jackson Park was in Hendersonville, North Carolina. And Canton First Baptist Church in Canton there. And there's a Facebook link, so I will put that in the description, and then you could maybe see if they're continuing to hand those out. I'm thinking those must be center or places where they're handing out other stuff too, maybe. Buncombe County government debris collection. So much trash, so much stuff. They've got 15 trucks currently deployed throughout the county collecting debris along the right-of-ways. More trucks are expected to come every day. Trucks will focus on areas this week. This would be this week, so Swannanoa, Barnardsville, and Fairview, but there will be multiple passes and collections, so residents do not have to place all the debris out at one time. They will continue to help you get rid of the stuff. Cold temperature resources. As freezing temperatures approach the area during our recovery, we want to remind you of local resources to help you keep warm. Shelters. We have space at all shelters listed below. Now again, this might have changed by the time you see this video, but you could certainly contact these shelters and ask them, and I'm sure they can direct you to another area if they are filled. AB Tech Conference Center, that's Asheville. Please use Victoria Road entrance, it says. Medical emergency shelter for individuals who are dependent on medical equipment requiring power, and that's in Asheville. 10 Genevieve Circle, Asheville. Former Gold's Gym, recommended for families with children. Please note that pets are not allowed at this location, and that's 1815 Hendersonville Road in Asheville. The WNC Agriculture Center, recommended for families with pets, and that's 765 Bullston Highway, Fletcher. Eblen, E-B-L-E-N Charities, I've never heard of that, but is providing warm winter clothing and other essential items such as hygiene and cleaning supplies, menstrual products, diapers, etc. Eblen, E-B-L-E-N again, is open Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at 23 Hamilton Street in Asheville. Currently, donations are not being accepted there. They don't need your donations, so not there. Goodwill donation centers are providing vouchers for clothing for those in need, so you might check with them. A new community care station is now open at 980 Brevard Road, the former Kmart, if you know where that was at. These stations offers showers, laundry, bathrooms, Wi-Fi, water, hot food, and counseling. So that's a great resource with multiple resources there. Other locations include Swannanoa Ingalls, AC Reynolds High School, and Morgan Hill Baptist Church, 594 Barnardsville Highway. Hours are from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. If you're in need, you could go there. The Eblen, E-B-L-E-N, again, Charities is providing gasoline vouchers, warm winter clothing, and other essential items such as hygiene and cleaning supplies. Again, their address is 23 Hamilton Street in Asheville. They continue to help people with rent and mortgage assistance, medical needs, and other essential items. So it sounds like they're doing a wonderful job there. Goodwill is accepting clothing donations and providing vouchers for those in need. Bounty and Soul is also accepting donations of warm clothing and blankets. Financial donations can be made to the United Way of Asheville and Buncombe County, and there's a link. I could add that one. Spectrum Restoration. More than 236,000 North Carolina Spectrum customers lost service at the height of the storm. In North Carolina, Spectrum expects complete restoration to all locations that have power and are safe to access by Saturday, October 19th. In Buncombe, 58% of Spectrum customers have seen their service restored, and 37,656 customers remain without power. So they're making progress, and I pray for those who are working on it that they are safe and they continue to make progress. In Buncombe County, on this day, 3,247, this is Duke Energy, remain without power. Crews continue to make progress in this week in restoring power. An important reminder, when people see utility crews, please slow down and watch out for trucks and workers. This is the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Mission priorities in the region for them include temporary power, debris, and infrastructure assessments. There are 250 members on the ground at all impacted areas. They have installed 16 generators, but due to power coming back, those are being phased out. Teams are also performing assessments for the scope of work for the removal of the estimated 10 million cubic yards of debris. So much trash. Here's some more about the well water. If your well was flooded, if you were in the area where it went over the well, residents who wish to test their well can pick up a test kit from the Buncombe County Permits Department at 30 Valley Street, Asheville, between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. It says please disinfect your well prior to testing, so I'm not sure how you would do that. But I'm sure when they give you that, they would explain what you needed to do. This is DSNAP. People impacted by Hurricane Helene can apply to receive a one-time benefit to help buy food through the Disaster Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or DSNAP. To apply, visit epass.nc.gov or call 1-844-453-1117. Sadly, of course, when something like this happens, there's always people trying to scam you. So here's telling you North Carolina Attorney General's office has a hotline to report scams, including disaster repairs, price gouging, and fraud contractors. Call 877-5-NO-SCAM, toll-free within North Carolina, or file a complaint online. And then they just give you some tips about if somebody's telling you they want to inspect your house, make sure you see their, if they're a federal employee, they would have an official government badge to identify themselves. Don't trust anyone that asks for money. Federal and local disaster workers do not solicit or accept money. Always work with licensed or verified contractors. Do not pay more than half the cost in advance, and demand that contractors detail the job to be done with guarantees in writing. Here's an assistance hotline for farmers. The North Carolina Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services hotline is active. This hotline is to connect farmers with resources that can assist with damage and other agricultural emergencies related to the storm. The toll-free number is 1-866-645-9403. A live operator will be available on the hotline between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. In Swannanoa, we kind of talked about the Asheville debris pickup. It's the same thing. County debris collection has begun and will continue. Multiple passes will be needed for debris cleanup, and this is the start of what will be a long process. Volunteers are needed at the Black Mountain Ingalls Distribution Center. The National Guard and Red Cross have departed the Black Mountain Distribution Center as of Monday, October 14th. Lisa Hicks Kinney, manager of the Black Mountain Visitor Center, is urgently seeking volunteers for the rest of this week. Volunteers are needed at the Garden Center at Black Mountain Ingalls to help sort donated clothes, ask for Jeannie, and water food supplies. Ask for Allison. Service hours are from 11 a.m. to 7:30 p.m., but any amount of time you can give will be greatly appreciated. Parking is available near the Porta-Johns located at the south end of the large parking lot. And there's a Facebook link that goes with that, so I will put that in the description below too. Roan Mountain Baptist Church in Bakersville, North Carolina, is providing meals for the people who don't have electricity and the volunteers too. My friend's adult son and family and daughter and her family still do not have electricity, so they are coming to their parents' house for meals and laundry. I'll share this info with you in case someone else would like to send funds, and this was Rhonda Butler, one of my friends. Thank you, Rhonda. So it's got the address and an email. I'll put it in the description below, but Roan Mountain Baptist Church, P.O. Box 668, Bakersville, North Carolina, 28705. There's a phone number, 828-385-3020, and then a pastor's email, russellmckinney, russellmckinney, @bellsouth.net. This was from my other friend, Bakersville, North Carolina. I just spoke with Chrissy from Bakersville, North Carolina Outdoor Adventures, and she confirmed these are correct addresses and that they can receive Amazon and FedEx deliveries at both addresses. She expressed her most heartfelt appreciation for every person and every donation of tangibles or monetary donations, as well as for the volunteers. She did ask that if possible, folks please stick to the frequently updated requested donations list, and please, please, please continue to ask if there's anything that needs to be hauled out when dropping in person at the Whitston Branch Road addresses. She told me the survivors are very appreciative of the millions of prayers prayed for them. The outpouring of support from across the globe has been felt. Our churches and fire departments are full of supplies. Our roads were cleared and rebuilt by strangers from all over the USA. We still have another quarter mile or so to go. Police, fire, rescue, nurses, doctors, etc. all volunteered to come and help. Everyone who lives here has said the same thing. We know all our neighbors now. A bond has been created for our community and one another. We lent a hand to each other. Together we survived and will overcome the unimaginable. That's a wonderful, inspiring statement there from her. And then also in that little part was a bit about, please do not go hiking, boating, driving without watching stuff above your head in WNC, Western North Carolina, regions hit by Helene. I've seen so many limbs and trees fall today from the high winds, so keep that in mind. And then here are the most needed items they're asking for. Think cold weather, generators, portable heaters, portable power banks, already charged, propane, kerosene, camping stoves. I know the Mr. Buddy heaters are still needed for folks. I bet some folks would be super excited to see some French presses or a way to make hot coffee at home without power. I've seen a lot of folks seeking a warm cup of joe in the mornings. Old-fashioned cowboy campfire percolator coffee sets. These supplies can be delivered to North Carolina Outdoor Adventures, and that's 1173 Whitson, Whitson, Branch Road, Bakersville, North Carolina, 28705. And if you wanted to call beforehand, it's 828-260-4505. And their email is nco adventures@gmail.com. Or you could take it to Ridgeview Presbyterian Church, 211 Whitson Branch Road, Bakersville, North Carolina, 28705. Those must be really close together. And then there's also a GoFundMe link for those organizations. I will put that in the description below, so that if you just wanted to go and look at that and maybe just donate that way. This is from Crossroads Community Church in Newport, Tennessee. All churches and our small nonprofit organizations in Hurricane Helene affected areas in Tennessee or North Carolina, please contact the Empower Mountain Ways Distribution Warehouse at 1190 Old Asheville Highway for all of your supply needs. They are stocked and ready to support you. A new phone line has been established to take orders as well as coordinate deliveries. Please contact 423-465-2466 daily for whatever need you have. As far as new donation items, they are only accepting generators, heaters, extension cords, and building supplies. Please notify the number above of your donation and your drop-off time. Thank you. And this is one, I think this may be the last one I have. Let's see, this was someone sent this to me. When you think about people, all of these people needing housing and how they're going to replace it. So this is, I'll just read you, she forwarded the little newsletter that she had received from online tiny house. Let's see, no, that's not their names. Let's see if I can find their name. Wild Abundance. I knew that didn't sound right. 2 weeks post, this was from Kelly. Thank you so much, Kelly. 2 weeks post natural disaster, we're realizing that one of the best things we can do is put our skills to good use within our circles of influence. Those of us with carpentry, building, and woodworking skills are at the forefront of so many efforts to rebuild. With that in mind, we're opening our online Tiny House Academy this Thursday with a special sale and fundraiser for flood victims, plus a full scholarship opportunity for anyone who lost their home to Hurricane Helene or Hurricane Milton. Enrollment opens this Thursday, that was October 17th. The program will be on sale at 20% off, plus we'll donate an additional 20% of your tuition to build tiny houses for people who have lost their homes in Western North Carolina. If it's possible for you to pay in full, both our school and the Tiny House Fund will be grateful. For anyone who personally lost their home to the hurricanes, please email us at admin@wildabundance.net. And we'll provide you with a full scholarship and instant access to the online Tiny House Academy. Our hearts are with you. And then I will leave that link in the description below. So that's just a ton of information, and I hope that it's helpful to somebody out there. I just feel like that's something that I've been led to do, is just to try to share this information and to help people maybe who are there need it, or maybe you're someone who knows someone and that you can share it that way. But that's what I feel led to do, and I hope that it's helpful. I've heard from some people that it is very helpful, so I hope it continues to be that, and I'll continue to share it as long as I can, and I appreciate all of you sending me the information. I would just say again, our you know, kind of the initial shock maybe's wore off for some people, not the people that it happened to, but us outsiders that are, you know, that were not impacted. But please don't forget all the people in need. Their whole livelihood, I mean, their homes, in many cases, their lives, their loved ones, gone to never be replaced. So please continue to pray for them. We serve a mighty God. Pray that He can help them in financially, guidance, solace, peace and comfort, all those ways that He can just wrap around them and help them in each way that they need Him. And thank you so much to all of you who've helped. I hope this gives you some more thoughts of how you can continue to help, because as I've said many times, it's not going to be easily fixed. It's going to be years in the making to replace so many roads and bridges, and then for people to figure out about their houses and you know, where to go and what to do. And so many people have lost their jobs. There's going to be needs for a long time, and we just need to remember them, most of all in prayer, and then to help when we can, help do what we can, whether it's donations or financially, whatever that we can do to help them. And most importantly, though, pray. That's the one that we can all do that doesn't cost any money, and then you're not, you know, all of us have life constraints and different things on us, and financial constraints and all that. So, but praying, you can do that no matter what's going on in your life. I appreciate you listening. I'll put the link in the description, all those links I mentioned. I also link to the other videos that I've done before. And I thank you for everything that you've done to help thus far.